Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So, we are back with another PSU video. We're actually still on the same day of recording. This is the first day we're playing. This is our character created this day, and as you can see, he's been through quite some stuff. He's been through quite a few changes. This is the event mission, the Valentine's Day event mission with some randos at the moment. Funny enough, Jack and Coke is back. He is now level 100. He was level 30, I believe, when we first met him while we were level 14. Seems like he has been grinding out some levels, though he is now gone, unfortunately. What we are currently doing is we're actually going to do a complete run, where I show you guys what it's like, essentially being more or less a support. I am going to focus primarily on debuffing the enemy while keeping my party buffed consistently, because the person we're with currently is pretty much capable of handling all the damage, more or less. We're just going to focus on getting everything debuffed at all times. Now, granted, you'd usually use a one-handed weapon with this, but this is something that was fully viable back in the day. You were able to just purely be a support. You didn't have to focus super on damage. A lot of what Acrotecher did very well is you had a lot of support, and you could keep enemies from doing a lot of damage to your party. You could essentially be a healer. Something that, I mean, granted, everyone did damage, even in PSU, but you could just focus on keeping your party alive and making sure you kept everyone healed up. You could focus on keeping enemies debuffed so they didn't do a bunch of damage, keeping their evasion debuffed, so the likelihood of you missing was substantially lower. Granted, it really wasn't too much of an issue as long as you were built properly, but it was much likely lower in specific situations where certain enemies would just be a bit more difficult to hit, depending upon the weapon or class combination that you were. Like I said, we're going to focus primarily on debuffing, but if it gets to the point where enemies we're fighting are debuffed and, you know, our ally hasn't killed them yet, then we're just going to go ahead and help them kill them while we swap weapons over to something that can do some damage. As you can see, we're currently leveling our debuffs at the moment. These enemies are already debuffed, so we can just switch over to our TMGs and just gun them down really quick. Just some that I bought off of, or from the, not off the market, but from the vendor. Now these enemies are going to be flying, but I'm going to still focus on debuffing them first. We're just getting right in the center of this. Since we can heal, we can just kind of tank these. It's not the end of the world. Even if we weren't geared fairly decently, we could just tank them, and it didn't really matter too much. We can go ahead and swap over, help with this, and we even have our SUV up. We'll go ahead and pop that. We did switch our SUV to one that's a little bit less overpowered. Also doesn't have an annoying aura that I have to deal with, so got a Sturmatakic going. I do believe there's also like a sword one. There's like a, I want to see if I can find it. This one I really liked. Looks like you're missing some HP. And this also lets us level our Resta and our Reverser. They can take some damage. We can just heal them back up. It's actually really comfortable having a proper Acrotecher in a party, just because, oh, we got silenced here. Not the best. We actually want to make sure in these situations to carry Star Atomizers with us, because now we can't really do any spell casting whatsoever unless we cleanse that debuff. Now, the debuff itself will go away eventually, so we don't have to worry too much about it. We'll play a little bit safer for just a little bit. And if you ever notice your caster gets silenced and they don't have the ability to deal with it themselves, it's always good to have a Star Atomizer or a Soul Atomizer in the back pocket to go ahead and take care of them. We'll wait for you to pop out, and we'll heal us both up real quick and keep it going. Our buffs last a decent amount of time. I think they're in their 20s. I think we're at 27-ish is where our buffs are at. While they're standing still, we'll go ahead and get a recast in. Fortunately, we didn't catch them in time. We'll just buff them while they're fighting. Honestly, it's not too bad to do this, because they'll be mostly close enough for us to just pop these buffs as we go, and then just start debuffing again. And as these debuffs get leveled, they'll get bigger. So have to be so much on top of the enemy as we do this. We are level 69 at the moment. Wish we couldn't level anymore, but you know, we're going to continue forward. That's it. I mean, like I said, you're fully able to just play the support role, which I know some people really like. Other people are like, oh, can I play a healer in NGS or even in PSO2? And really, that wasn't a thing. You weren't really required to heal people, or In most situations, it really didn't make much of a difference. Like, you wouldn't really feel it in those games. In a game like this, where you really can't avoid damage consistently, you gotta have to just walk out of the way of it. In some situations, it's almost guaranteed, depending upon what you're fighting. Having something like a dedicated healer is actually pretty comfortable. Fighter main, oh man. I wonder if that's an NGS player. Or at least a PSO2 player, right? Because fighter is a PSO2 class. Or I guess technically D&D as well, you know? It'd be nice to say hello. Yo. And then we'll make sure to switch over to buff him as soon as we get here. And he's a little lower level, so it'll be nice for him specifically to have buffs going, have debuffs on the enemies. Increases damage, increases survivability. It's always nice to have that bit extra survivability, even if like you're just kind of going ham, not really paying attention to anything. Ah, fuck. Whoops. He's got a pretty interesting weapon there, actually, too. So when we get into the next set of enemies, we'll make sure to go ahead and take the time to buff him really quick. And then we'll go back to debuffing enemies again. Toss a quick heal out. And honestly, it's really comfortable to be able to just not focus on your survivability, let someone else handle it for you. And you can just focus purely on dealing as much damage as possible. I've hit level 70, so that's pretty dope. And I'll let them take care of the damage, and I will simply just support. It's one of the few games I actually don't mind supporting in. Usually supporting is kind of lame. But I don't know what it is about this game. For some reason, it just feels comfy. Being able to debuff the enemy, able to buff your allies, all in the, like, you're right in the mix. You're not like really away from the enemies. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Realistically speaking, you would use a one-handed weapon. Like, I would use like a dagger or claw or a sword, and then have, you know, the debuffs on my offhand. And then, of course, you know, after I debuff, I assist with fighting the enemy. Dude just walked right through. Didn't care any of this. Let me go heal him really quick. Oh, damn, that's actually too much to take. Okay, that's fine. Surprised. Oh, I am stupid and was not casting heals. I would have had to stop to heal myself in that. I could probably have done that and healed them, but it is what it is. I'll go through here really quick. Once we get to the other side and then get in the middle of the fight, I'll go ahead and go back to buffing them. That's really the way you want to go about it. You don't want to stop people to have, like, to buff them. Granted, yeah, if someone's trying to buff you, it's always a nice thing to stop and get your buffs, but it's always better, in my opinion, to buff right in the middle of the fight. That way they can continue to fight and you get them buffed, all that good stuff. Is it a bit more dangerous? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, if you can get it done before a fight, that's fine. Let me just go ahead and get that done, and then we can get back to supporting again. We're going to go ahead and go with the attack debuff first this time around. He's taking some damage. They're all taking a bit of damage. Kind of bigger enemies, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this. A bit more on the healing side this time, just because, like, I'm seeing them take a bit more damage, but realistically speaking, I don't have to be that safe about it. They can also heal themselves if they're in a jam, so. But I want them doing damage as often as possible. Thing is that at least in PSU, you don't have to stop heal yourself. You can just heal yourself while you're dealing damage, if you can menu properly. Not everyone can. Okay, that takes care of them. I think that dude's lagging a bit, yeah. He was just kind of standing around not doing anything. Either I'm lagging or he's lagging, one of the two. I was like, hello? That's dangerous, but alright. Teaches their own, I suppose. Fun fact, even if these enemies are already debuffed, if I just spam my debuffs on them, it will level them. No, you don't. However, you do have to heal HP to level Resta though, so doing something like walking into here or just walking into here and just spam healing myself. Oh, lag is, yeah, there's definitely some lag happening. I was like, why am I not taking damage? Yeah. Servers lagging, maybe. Of course, when I want to record is when the servers seem to be lagging a bit. I was like, yeah, that seems a bit strange. I'm not taking any damage whatsoever. We got a Kerrigan Rukar. That is a, it's probably not nearly as impactful as it used to be, but that is one of my favorite double saber models from back in the day, the Kerrigan Rukar. We can get our way in here and focus on our buffs. So you could spam your heals here, level them fairly easily. I'll get your Resta leveled really quickly, and of course, level Resta is important because it doesn't mean that it's going to heal more. So you do want to level your heals. It's actually very useful. Man, it's crazy to see a Kerrigan Rukar show up. And that's pretty much it. That's what it's like being a full-on support. You can do quite a bit. I mean, granted, there's technically more you can do. You can focus a lot more on a few other debuffing PAs. I believe there's some TMG PAs that debuff as well. But you're able to get quite a bit accomplished by just supporting your group. As you can see, no one's really complaining, hey, kill something or whatever. You know, enemies are dying because you're providing essentially a service, which is pretty dope. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys today. Anything else that I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Maybe there's something you like to do as a support in PSU that I'm completely overlooking, which is totally possible. Either way, like if you enjoyed the video, sub when you keep with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.